Brother, if this video found you right now, it's because you need it more than you realize. Now, you've built a life others would envy. So you constantly tell yourself, I should be grateful for everything I have. But deep down, you're secretly feeling guilty because you're not where you thought you'd be by now. You don't talk about it openly because it sounds ungrateful, even selfish. So you keep it locked inside, quietly wondering, why aren't I happy? Why do I feel empty when I know I have enough? And you think the problem is burnout or stress. Maybe you're telling yourself you just need a break, a family holiday, or more motivation. But here's what no one wants to tell you. None of that fixes it. The problem isn't burnout, and it's definitely not motivation. The real problem is something called identity drift. You've probably never heard of it before. And that's because most have no idea it even exists, and that's why nothing changes. But once you see it, you'll instantly recognize it in yourself. And so in this short video, I'm going to clearly show you exactly what identity drift is, how to know you're caught in it, and what you need to do right now before it's too late. Now, right now, there are two versions of you. First, there's the man you know you could and should be, the identity you want to be. The energized, fully present, like clear about who he is and exactly where he's going. Then there's the man you are today. The gap between these two versions of you is the drift. Now here's the critical part most men miss. You're never standing still. You're either intentionally moving closer to the man you want to become, or you're quietly drifting further away, day by day. Now imagine you're paddling on a river. Upstream is the man you know you're capable of being. He's the strong, clear, and fulfilled guy. He's aligned to the values and habits that make him the best husband, father, and leader that he can be. And then downstream is the man you fear becoming. The tired, disconnected guy whose life feels empty. He's unhappy, unfulfilled, and distant. But here's the catch. The river has a powerful current. If you do nothing, if you stop paddling and just go with the flow, you naturally drift downstream. It doesn't take effort or bad choices. In fact, it requires nothing from you at all. And that's exactly the danger. The drift happens quietly. It's invisible. It's one small compromise at a time. You know those moments where you're sitting at dinner with your family, everyone's talking around you, but you realize you're mentally somewhere else, and then quietly feel guilty for being disconnected. That's the drift. At first, these seem like minor issues, just temporary busy seasons. But slowly, piece by piece, you're carried further downstream. And then one day you look up and realize you're miles away from the man you always intended to become. And maybe you've tried paddling harder to fix it. You hustle more, you set bigger goals, you're convinced the next achievement or win will finally make you feel alive again. But working harder to solve the drift is like paddling faster towards the waterfall. More effort in the wrong direction won't save you. It speeds your destruction. And chasing external fixes like more goals, more money, more holidays never solves the real problem. Because the real issue isn't external at all. It's internal. It's identity. And here's why this matters more than anything. Further downstream, the river speeds up and eventually there's a waterfall. The waterfall isn't just some metaphor. For some men, it's a sudden divorce, kids growing distance, or worse, living with deep regret. Here's exactly how to know if you're stuck in the drift. Now listen closely, because if even one of these resonates, you're already headed downstream, brother. The first is your victories feel empty. You achieve goals but never feel fulfilled. And so you keep chasing the next thing, hoping it finally delivers satisfaction. The second is you're present but not really there. Physically home, but mentally stuck at work, like your mind's always solving endless open loops while your family senses your distance. And then the third is your marriage feels transactional. Conversations about logistics and schedules and not connection. You wonder privately if your wife feels the same emptiness, but there's nothing happening in between. And then the fourth is when you snap at your kids and instantly regret it. Small things trigger your impatience. You immediately think, why can't I just be the dad I want to be? And then 5 is you're always tired, quietly unhappy, and don't know why. And you wake up exhausted even after rest. Others label it burnout, but now you know it's deeper than that. And brother, if any of these hit home, you're already drifting. But here's the good news. Clearly recognizing the drift is the critical first step to getting your life back. Therefore, the single most important action right now is pinpointing exactly how far downstream you've drifted and how to fix it. And that's exactly why I created the Identity Drift Assessment. It takes just 3 minutes, but you'll immediately see exactly where you are on this river and precisely how to paddle intentionally back upstream. And there's a link in the show notes below to download it, because this clarity is your first step towards realignment and regaining your direction. But every day you wait, you drift closer to that waterfall, and eventually you reach the point of no return, a place where damage is irreversible. So right now you have the power to choose. You can keep drifting, hoping things somehow get better on their own, or you grab the paddle right now and intentionally move towards the man you're meant to be. Now the choice is yours. Clearly understand and beat the drift, or keep floating downstream. Just remember this: inaction is still a choice. And if you're thinking, brother, I barely have time as it is, watch this next video right here. I'll show you exactly how to reclaim hours each day so effectively it feels like cheating. Stay strong.